Namaste YouTube, I'm Syra and welcome back to my channel. This is where I bring you the latest in food, fashion, and fitness with an Indian twist. One of the things that I've done on my fitness journey is keep track of my food. I've done a food diary, but I've done it online. So in today's video, we are going to take a look at my favorite app called MyFitnessPal. I use it every single day, and we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to get into the app and how to track your food, even if it's Indian food, coming up next. So I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about how I track my food and how it's really helped me along my fitness journey. So in today's video, I wanted to go over step by step how to use the app that I use called MyFitnessPal. And this is the free version. There's a premium version that has a bunch of additional features, but the one that I use is just free, and I feel like for most people it's enough. MyFitnessPal is an app that's basically used for tracking food, for tracking macros. You can put in your exercise, your water, and all that kind of stuff, but I use it primarily to track my food and to see if I'm on track with my calories. It's based on a database of foods that have already been put into the app by users like me and you. And people have entered foods into the database, and now they're available to everybody. And in order to do this, you have to go to the App Store, download MyFitnessPal on your smartphone, and then once it's downloaded, we're going to get into it. The home screen is going to look like this, and at the bottom you're going to see five tabs really: the home, the diary, the big plus sign, the progress, and more. Most of my time is spent on the diary. And as you can see, I've set up my calories, and the way I've done that is I've gone into more, and you go into goals. Once you go into goals, you can put your starting weight, you can put your current weight, your goal weight, and basically what you want to do, whether you want to maintain, whether you want to gain weight, lose weight, and then it's going to ask you for the activity level. What I really like to do is to do this section here, and that is in the macros. Based upon your diet, you might have a set of calories that you want to maintain in a day. Mine is close to 1,800, and I have that allocated by 50% carbs, 25% protein, and 25% fats. And I've kept this consistent. I've saved this as my sort of guideline for each and every day. And what it does is it works similar to a banking system. So this is how much money or calories I have in a day. And when I add my food, it subtracts it from here. So I have a running total of how many calories I have left. But what I really like is MyFitnessPal also keeps track of the macros. So how do I add some food to my diary? As I said, I spend most of my time in the diary section. So if you go in here, it's gonna have all the sections for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and also gives you snack options if you want to add exercise and add water. So what I do here is if I add a food, you go to breakfast and you add. The database has millions and millions of entries on foods, including Indian food, including Chinese, Spanish, Mexican, any kind of cuisine that you can imagine. The key thing is getting the right choice that matches up with what you're actually eating. And an example of this, Indian food can be kind of tricky because, say for example, I'm making biryani. I'm from the north of India. The style of biryani that I make may be different than in the south. So if I pull up biryani, it's gonna give me all these choices: haldirams, lamb biryani, chicken biryani, and I have to go through and figure out which one of these matches the closest to what I've actually had. And if none of these match up, you can actually add your own. And you can either scan a barcode, you can create a recipe, you can create a meal, or create a food. If you create a food, you just have to put what you call it. I could put it my homemade biryani, I could describe it. The serving size in one pot might be 8, and then servings per container would be 8. One serving size would be a cup. And then you go on and you add and you create the food. But I'm gonna keep this really simple, and let's just do an example of breakfast. So today I had 100% liquid egg whites. I had 1 cup. So my servings, number of servings was 1. and I've added that to my breakfast. And as you can see, it's taken away 133 calories for the 1 cup of egg whites, and now I have 1647 left. I also had 1 piece of turkey bacon, so I'm gonna put turkey bacon, and right now it's come up. This is the turkey bacon I had. I had 1 slice, I'm gonna add that. And then I also had 2 strawberries. So I'm gonna add strawberries, and it's come up as strawberries. 1 medium, I had 2 medium strawberries. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna change my serving size to 2, so it adjusts it, and then I'm gonna hit the check up here, and that adds it automatically. I also had half of a Trader Joe's bagel, and it's come up 1 bagel, I had half, and I'm gonna add that. So this has given me my complete breakfast. So my breakfast was just under 300 calories. I have 1,489 left for the day. I know this seems like a lot of work, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And sometimes I don't feel it as I go on in the day, but I do it at the end of the day. Or if I know I'm having a big celebration meal at the end of the week, I leave some extra calories every single day as my extra calories, so I can save those up and use them at the end of the week. And that's really how it just keeps me on track in terms of figuring out what I'm eating every day, how many fats, how many carbs, and how much protein. So in order to see what the profile is so far, you just hit more and you go into nutrition and you go into macros. So far today, 55% carbs, 15% fat, and 30% protein. And you can do that as the day develops. You can keep going in and seeing how much you're actually eating. I also like to see my nutrients, and this, I like maintaining this too, because I do mine in grams. So I know I've had 13 grams of protein, 25 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of fiber. I'm trying to get that to 25, which is my goal. Sugar 2, and fat is 3. So far I'm doing pretty good. I also wanted to show you guys some other features on this. So if suppose I'm out at lunch, or I don't have time for lunch, and I want to add a snack, and I pick up, say, this protein bar, and I want to put in my information. MyFitnessPal now has a scanning feature, and it's had this for a while, but you could just take a picture of the barcode and it will add the food in there. There it is. And it put the whole entire description and the calories and the nutritionals of this bar into MyFitnessPal, and I can add the food right away. And it adds it right there. So we're back in the diary. And if I wanted to, say for example, if I was eating Indian food, for example, and I had a recipe and I wanted to put it in to get the most accurate reflection of the calories and the macros, you could just go into dinner, you could add food, and you could actually add the recipe here. So you could add it, and basically you can store it and then keep it for next time as well. So it gives you the option to do that. So it says create a recipe, you go in, and then you could have it from a web, or you could enter the ingredients manually. So this is what I was working on yesterday. So MyFitnessPal does partner with some websites, and these are the websites that it partners with. And if you get a recipe off of here, so say for example, I went to health.com, there's a button at the bottom that says import recipe, and that would come right into your profile. So that's how that works. And if you wanted to do it from scratch, like say you were making Indian food or something like that, you could do it by just entering it manually. You could create a recipe, and then you would just enter the ingredients manually. And this is like really helpful if this is like a recurring item that you might have quite often. Like with my kids, I find like my meal planning, we're eating pretty much the same rotation of food every 2 weeks kind of thing. So if I put in my recipes myself on my homemade stuff, I would have it already saved, and I could just use that for next time. But I have to say, overall, I predominantly use what's in the database. I just try to find what matches what I'm eating pretty closely, and that's how I get my calories. And then you could go down here, this is a shortcut to the nutrition part, so it'll take you right to the nutrition page if you want to, or you can use you can use this down here more. But this will like take you there. And also when you're done, you just hit complete diary. If you want to, you can also add exercises if you want. It gives you cardio and strength. I just find I don't use this very much because my strength training is pretty specialized and it's kind of hard to find things that match up exactly. But I do use water, especially these days. I will see how much water I'm drinking in a day and I add that to make sure that I'm meeting my hydration requirements, which is one of the things I'm doing for 2019. So this is just an overview of MyFitnessPal. There's a lot more features, but I just wanted to show you guys how I track my food. And as I said, this is all available on the free version. There is a premium version that you can pay a monthly for, but I feel like you can get everything you need just off of this. So I hope that's helpful. If you guys have any questions about MyFitnessPal, please leave it in the comments and I will answer them the best that I can. And as I said, once I started tracking, it became easier and easier the more I did it. And now I literally do this every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And for all the latest content every Thursday, don't forget to hit the bell notification icon below. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.